Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a new executive order goes into effect this afternoon. How officials are expected to enforce the state's mandatory mask policy. A new order is making it even easier for Kentuckians to get tested for COVID-19. And some universities are saying students will not be allowed to attend in-person classes without masks.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock on this Friday, July the 10th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, yesterday a little light show was working here at the Jeff Bureau before I went to sleep, and I was told by our chief meteorologist, Paige Noel, that it was a thunderstorm over Letcher County. We all know who lives over there. Brandon, did you get a little bit of action before you went to sleep last night in terms of storm and rain and wind and weather?
Buddy, if we did, I was asleep. I didn't hear it. I was dead to the world at that point. But I'd say we probably did. And if the last 6 hours on satellite radar trying to show some of that there at the last little bit over into Letcher County right around 10, 11 o'clock last night. So I'd say that was the case there. I was just dead to the world at that point. We're going to continue to see a couple of chances for rain later today, but this morning pretty dry, and it's not even as foggy as it normally has been this week. So we're in better shape there. Still limited visibility in Harlan and in Williamsburg, at least on the sensors. So keep that in mind as you travel early. We're looking at temperatures that are basically the same as they were yesterday, cooler in the Cumberland Valley, warmer up to the north. We've actually lost the Morehead sensor this morning. They must be having a problem up there at the Rowan County Airport. We're looking at dew points that are very muggy, so that's not going to change today. Temperatures will be just a touch cooler. And when I say a touch cooler, I mean a touch. 89 is the forecast high. That cold front is coming, and that will cool us off a little bit just in time for the weekend. I'll talk about that extended forecast in just a few minutes. Will.
Whew, feel like winter out there, Brandon, compared to yesterday. Thank you. Well, let's get a breakdown of yesterday's numbers in Kentucky. There were 333 new cases for a total of 18,245. 4 more Kentuckians died. That's now at a total of 612. Since the governor's news conference, we learned of another death in Clay County, the 4th one there. The 3 days between Tuesday and Thursday have marked 3 of the top 4 days for total cases in a single day in Kentucky. Well, those increasing numbers prompted Governor Andy Beshear to issue a new executive order yesterday requiring the wearing of masks in public. The order follows the lead of more than 20 other states with similar orders. The mask requirements go into effect this afternoon at 5 and will last at least 30 days. It does not apply to children under the age of 5 or people with underlying health problems that could be affected by wearing a mask. Governor Beshear says local health departments will enforce the order, adding that health and economic experts believe it will speed up the reopening of our economy.
It's really going to come down to whether we let personal pride or some belief that we have liberty to spread this thing to others and therefore shouldn't have to wear something like this. It's all going to come down to whether we are willing to do it, whether we truly care about each other and our economy, and whether we're willing to put some personal feelings if we don't like wearing these. And I believe that's maybe 20% of people. If we can put those feelings aside and serve the greater good. And honestly, folks, in the midst of a worldwide health pandemic, wearing a mask makes a lot of sense.
Now, Health Commissioner Dr. Stephen Stack announced a new order yesterday designed to make it easier for people to get a COVID-19 test. The order signed by Dr. Stack and Eric Freelander does not require a clinician's order to get a test. That order is also not required for insurance companies to cover it. And getting a test does not count as a doctor-patient visit. Well, when students return this fall, Eastern Kentucky University will require them to wear masks. Any student refusing will not be allowed at an in-person classes. Instead, they'll have to work with an advisor to make arrangements. EKU says students will also have to practice social distancing. Well, 2 new in-person unemployment assistance locations will open next week. One of those will be in Prestonsburg at Big Sandy Community and Technical College. It will open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The Frankfort in-person assistance site will remain open next week, Monday through Friday. You can sign up for an appointment at kcc.ky.gov. Well, at the end of June, the Letcher County Recreation Center opened up their basketball courts and increased the number of people who could come inside. That was on the 29th of June. And on the 1st of July, Director Jeremiah Johnston looked at the governor's guidance and saw that it had changed, forcing them to shutter their courts again and move back to only 33% capacity inside.
A week ago, we started to ramp up a little bit, getting more folks in here, and then recently, the guidance has kind of made us take 5 steps back. So now we're back to where the basketball courts are not opened up anymore. We really have to watch how many people are able to come into the rec center.
Now, their exercise classes are restricted to only 10 people as well. Now, local State Farm agents delivered lunch to Christian community care workers in Corbin yesterday. You may remember earlier this week, we told you about an outbreak at the facility that contributed to the deaths of 5 people. Michael Jones with State Farm says the meals are the least they can do to help healthcare workers right now.
We are all happy to be able to help the healthcare workers. They are the people in our community that are taking care of our parents and our grandparents here, and we deeply appreciate what they're doing.
State Farm was able to feed close to 108 employees. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, Daddy Yo's in London is back open and under new management thanks to one UK basketball icon.
And the forecast with that cold front we've been talking about all week is finally arriving today. I'll track it out for you in about 3 minutes.